dribble style in the game in my opinion.
Remember that, folks. Ja dribble style is looking the best so far.
Him and Garland 1 and 2, and Kevin Durant. We talked about that Scottie Pippen step back. It's like the same thing with Durant and LeBron. You could just run forward, do the step back, and then you can run out of that right. Or if you're running right,
I'm telling you once again, I'm not saying something should be removed or anything. It should stay in the game. I don't see Mike Wang keeping these snatchbacks like that into release.
1 and 2, and Kevin Durant. We talked about that Scottie Pippen step back. It's like the same thing with Durant and LeBron. You can just run forward, do the step back, and then you can run out of that right. Or if you're running right at first, you can run out of it left. Now, finally done with dribbling. Let's move on to shooting, because there's also a lot to cover in shooting now. Let's just take a look at Curry really quick. One of the players that I'll be showing at his attributes, because we were using him a lot. He has a 99.3. None of the NBA players had legend badges, so keep that in mind when watching the gameplay. There goes Curry's stats and badges. Now these stats weren't final, but let's start with rhythm shooting. Okay, rhythm shooting is a little different than 2K26. So rhythm shooting does not have a green bonus over shooting with the button. But with rhythm shooting, there's two timings. There's tempo timing and there is push timing. You are seeing in the bottom, there is sometimes where I am not grading the push timing and I'm grading the tempo timing, but I am still grading it on Hall of Fame difficulty, because all you have to do is green the tempo timing, which is just the speed of you going down and up on the stick, matching the player's shot speed, okay? That is the only thing that you have to time to green and make a shot with rhythm shooting. So I guess technically there is an advantage with rhythm shooting because you have two different things to time, but this is the thing. You're probably thinking, oh, I just have to green the tempo or the push. No, if you green the push timing and not the tempo timing, it doesn't go in. So I don't know. I don't know if it's really an advantage. I think it really just depends on what you're better at timing. If you're better with the button, use the button.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm going to have to play the game. I'm just going to have to play the game. I said that I was worried about this when it first came out, but I don't know.
But if you're better timing the tempo, then time the tempo. Now, before I talk about a couple other advantages with rhythm shooting, right here, I have a wide open catch and shoot with Damian Lillard. And you see, I green the push. There's an example. And I didn't green the tempo, and it doesn't go in. So, yeah, if you green the tempo, you make it. But if you green the push like I just did again right there, and you don't green the tempo, you do not make the shot. Now, you can also make your shots faster.
I'm not going to lie. At the same time, if button shooting is like they say, I'm probably just going to go back to button shooting. That's how I played 2K for freaking 15 years. I am, at the moment, used to, besides on my 99 3-point build with Patty Mills, rhythm shooting. That's the only jump shot I don't rhythm shoot with this year is Patty. So
with rhythm shooting, if you shoot your tempo faster, that is kind of confusing though. The best way for me to explain it is the faster you let go of the right stick after pushing it down, the faster your jump shot will be. And then it starts timing your tempo timing once you release it from holding down on the right stick to going back up. Now, this doesn't mean you can't go crazy with the button. This is a game. This is a random shot from All-Star Team Up. I mean, people are greening reds in the corner with the button. Dude. And that brings us to the perfect time to talk about rhythm turbo fades. Now let's take a look at this first clip where I let go of the right stick to the top to the bottom a little faster than normal, and he kind of chucks it up because he releases it faster, okay? But that was his turbo fade animation. If you guys remember in 2K25, and there's a pull-up version of it, in 2K...
That was another thing I told you guys about with the cheating. First things first, 2K needs to ban cheaters, right? Consistent, early, and often, as I have to just keep saying. But imagine there's some sort of like cheating script where they can do the super fast shot every time, because now you can like kind of control the speed of your shot with rhythm, and they're just doing that every time. That could get out of hand.
25, depending on if you had your right trigger held or not, you got a slow fade or a turbo fade while rhythm shooting, okay? Now, in 2K26, there's no slow fades if you want to rhythm a fade. It is just the turbo fade animation as long as you are pointing your left stick to the right or left. Now, sometimes you will get a pull-up jump shot, like kind of like a front fade almost, if you are not pointing your left stick in the right direction. But as long as you are pointing it to the left or right and you want to rhythm fade it, you have to put the right stick up, down still. You're going to get that turbo fade animation. Right there, you see I wasn't pointing my left stick in the right direction, so I got the pull-up jump shot, just like this one right here with Bam. Also, the pull-up jump shots are better with rhythm. You don't get those slow, bad animations. Now you're just guaranteed the turbo fade animation every time, or the decently good pull-up animation.
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. New Turbo Zen script. These dweebs are gonna pay $80 a month to do turbo fast shots. 2K, you got to be on top of it. You have to be on top of it this year. Like I said, guys, this could be the best 2K ever. I'm not saying from what we've seen this could be the best 2K ever. I'm saying when the game comes out, you could love it. It could to you feel amazing. But if everybody's cheating and they're not banning people, it's gonna really lower, you know, people's fun for the game. It's gonna tuck people off the game.
Back fades. Now, shout out to Laker for providing this gameplay to me, and shout out to King Dooms. He was using Shea in this gameplay, and he told me after testing back fades and All-Star Team Up that back fades feel smoother than regular jump shots. So that gets me excited because I like back fading, especially on twos. I like doing that. And so does my teammate. So I don't know. I didn't personally test the back fades, but my boy Dooms said it felt really good, and he was going crazy with the back fades. Like, look at this. Shay's just going crazy out there in the All-Star Team Up. No dip catch and shoots. If you guys didn't know, there's a new mechanic where if you hold L2 when you...
Ooh. We haven't seen this yet.
Catch the ball, you can get your jump shot off faster. Now, yes, in previous 2Ks, if you hold L2, you get a better catch. This is a better catch, and you get your jump shot off faster. So this is Curry, what Curry looks like on a regular button shot. And then this is Curry when he does the no dip. You can clearly see he is not dipping the ball when he catches it, and he is shooting it immediately, making it harder for the defense of the arena to react. Now here's what Kristaps Porzingis looks on a regular jump shot in the corner. It's slow. Doesn't look too good, right? Now here's a no dip. L2, shoot it immediately. Clearly a difference. This is a must if you are a spot up shooter or you control your whole team like in my team or play now. I even went to go look at Porzingis' three, and as bad as he doesn't even have corner specialists or anything, but yeah, he shot that thing immediately. Here's Wemby, a 7'4" player.
Damn.
With the no dip, shooting over those. Okay, Jalen Williams, super fast catch and shoot. Now I will say you can do the no dip with button or rhythm shooting. It doesn't matter. Paul George had a good no dip shot. Now depending on the jump shot, you can get faster no dips or slower ones.
Tycino might be back with the fades chat. Yo, Smooth, thank you for the dono. I'm sure he's gonna. Doesn't Tycino come back every year for at least a few weeks?
So look at DeJounte Murray. That's a heavy. He just shoots it immediately. There were some players that had bad no dip catch and shoots, like Jonathan Isaacs. Was terrible. It was slow. Now, I tried to get one off the dribble, but it doesn't work. You have to have your feet set, okay? Don't believe me. The next possession with the same player, Keontae George, I have my feet set, and I shoot it immediately. It is clearly, visibly a lot faster. You can also contest these no dips, of course. It's not like they're unstoppable. If you're there, you're there. Cam Thomas's no dips catch and shoot was one of the best. I mean, we all know Cam Thomas base is good, but look at how fast he was getting that no dip off. I thought that Stephen Curry's was the fastest though. I thought Patty Mills and Cam Thomas's were pretty good as well. Shooting over people. Yeah, 2K26 height is a huge factor. I'm talking shooting, finishing, everything. Now look at Kevin Durant. I pull up right in Cooper Flag's face, open, greening it with the button. Now I went to go look at Cooper Flag's stats. I mean, dude, this guy is tall and he has an 84 perimeter defense. Now, yeah, KD is 6'11 with a 99 mid and Hall of Fame. Did I? So that probably has something to do with it. We were not going to get that on a my player, obviously. But Kevin Durant being as tall as he was, I could definitely feel.
We're not?
I ain't gonna lie.
With max plus twos?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that shit. Max plus twos is we gonna have that.
Feeling an advantage.
Somebody gonna have it.
Shooting over people. And it wasn't just Kevin Durant. There were some jump shots.
Well, not the 99 mid-range, but like your badge, you can bring it up to where you had a high. You see what I'm saying?
There were some jump shots where I was like, oh my God, Trae Young's base? I don't know what was going on with Trae Young's base, but I was grading a lot of contestants with Trae Young. 40s. I grade like 3 40s with Trae Young on Hall of Fame difficulty. I don't know what's going on with his base, but he's making contested shots. You know, even Chet Holmgren, look at over Tyrese Maxey's a little small guard. That's open. Dexing, we all know about the L2 cheese. Now, when you dex...
Man, great video by Double H. I mean, just really thorough.
The right trigger, it's still the same animation. Now, fatigue was off in Learn 2K, so I don't have visual proof of this.
Oh,
but
God.
For the people that were testing triple threat and all that stuff, when they were tapping R2 to dex like you would around the 2's core or the 3's to L2, you would lose a stamina off one R2 dex. So you want to backdoor with the right trigger dex, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose an adrenaline. You want to run right and then right trigger back to the left, you're losing an adrenaline guaranteed. So if you're going to dex even once, you better get open because you're losing an adrenaline, and starting a possession catching the ball with 2 adrenaline is a huge
Good
advantage because you're probably going to go down to 1 adrenaline after a couple moves, and it's not very easy to green a shot with no adrenaline or even 1 adrenaline. Limitless range. Now, I got Deep Bomber Takeover once. Yes, Deep Bomber is back. I got it with Kevin Durant. Hall of Fame difficulty, step back, shooting over Daniel Gafford, got an open, greening it with rhythm shooting. And once again, I proved that it is on Hall of Fame difficulty. That was pretty crazy. It went right off the backboard, so that's how you know I got the green window spot on with that tempo timing. Now, I was in Learn 2K with Steph Curry. It was a 99.3. Now, keep in mind, these players, none of them had legend badges, so Curry is Hall of Fame limitless range. And I was just testing out shooting with rhythm from super deep. Now, for whatever reason, at Learn 2K, it was really hard to shoot, but obviously, this gameplay that I'm showing currently is literally from the Learn 2K logo, but I did green it a couple times. So it wasn't impossible to shoot from out there with Hall of Fame limitless range. Unfortunately, we didn't get to test Legend limitless range. I would have liked to test that and see how that was working out there, but I did green twice out of, you know, several tries out from there. But now you're probably asking, how hard is shooting? There's a pure green window, guys. It's gotta be easy, right? Dude, on Hall of Fame, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Learn 2K. I mean, you guys saw me shooting pretty well and play now. You have to be locked in. I don't know if you noticed in the feedback, it's only gonna show late, early, or green. So in my head, I'm like, dude, am I timing it this far off? Because it's like late, early. I'm used to like slightly early, slightly late sometimes. But you gotta be locked in. I was on push timing. If you're not paying attention, locked in on Hall of Fame, you're gonna struggle to shoot. Dude, this is Curry with a 99.3.
Now keep in mind, Rec is the lowest difficulty in the park mode. Park is right there. You know, this depends on where you play, right? I think Stage, Proving Grounds, and Pro-Am are the only ones on Hall of Fame. So if you only play Park, don't make your build around how shooting on Hall of Fame is or Rec, right?
That shooting middies, even though Curry's mid-range was, well, actually no, Curry had a 99 midi and a 99.3, so his rating's the same, but shooting the midi was just like a lot easier. And obviously I know shooting a mid-range should be easier than shooting a 3, but it felt a lot easier to shoot a midi than a 3. You can ask other creators that were there. I know you guys are probably thinking, dude, you're in the Learn 2K with no one guarding you. Dude, I'm telling you, it was actually tough to shoot in this Learn 2K on Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's gonna be like that in other Hall of Fame difficulty modes on the actual game, but I mean, I wasn't shooting too bad in play now, so I'm not really worried about it. But you're not gonna come out here just because there's a pure green window and no RNG shooting crazy good. Like, it is not easy to shoot on 2K26, I would say. 2 random little things. I'll show the shot meter really quick. I don't use the meter, so this is the only clip you're gonna see of it, which was the first clip I had in community day because I took it off immediately after this. So there's what the meter looks like for the people that are interested. And here is the little screen splash thing under your player. This was in 2K20. Yes, it is back. That's what it looks like in game. Patty Mills jump shot and other jump shots. Patty Mills was Patty Mills. Now, obviously, Patty Mills, like, dribble animations suck, and his releases are not very good. But when you put your custom releases on after unlocking Patty Mills, which is probably locked, it's going to be a good jump shot. It's Patty was padding, if that's what you're asking, okay? T-Mac now, T-Mac's jump shot on his actual player is, like, way slower. If you have a custom jump shot creator, it's going to be faster. T-Mac's jump shot was looking like the same. I don't know. It felt a lot slower because it's on T-Mac and his jump shot release is slow. LaMelo Ball base was terrible. I don't know if the releases just suck. I hated it, this jump shot. This was very hard to time. One person that actually liked their jump shot was the rookie on the Hornets, Knipple. I really like his jump shot. And also his no dip catch and shoot was pretty good too. Michael Porter Jr. also had a good jump shot. I felt like I was shooting a lot better than him with the other players in Learn 2K on Hall of Fame. Jonathan Isaac was a jump shot I used on my 7-foot centers. And this was terrible. I mean, I could...
Nah, Rec is not on Hall of Fame difficulty.
That sounded like
could not time his shots. It was really bad. He also has a terrible no dip catch and shoot. You can't even tell the difference. That's how slow his no dip catch and shoot. It's so bad. And then here's Cooper Flagg's jump shot for anyone wondering. Carmelo Anthony's jump shot was pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie. He also had a good no dip catch and shoot. Also, Cam Thomas's base is probably the base I'm gonna start 2K26 with. I like that a lot. And like I said earlier, Curry with the no dip was really good. I might use that too. And Trae Young's base was like weirdly good. I was greening a lot of contestants with it. Free throws. Now, free throws are green or miss or on higher difficulties. I was on Hall of Fame, so it was green or miss. This is what the free throw looks like. I had the funnel meter on. If you guys are interested in using the meter, it's was my favorite meter in 2K24. You saw I purposely missed with Ja, doesn't go in. I barely missed the green window. Giannis doesn't go in. You have to meet that green window to make your free throw. So if you're gonna play Pro-Am this year, you better green those free throws or else they're not going in. No more white free throws. You're gonna have to lock in on that or at that free throw line. Finally, we are moving on to the finishing. We're going to start with Giannis's stats here. He has a 91 dunk, an 85 standing dunk. He is a 98 overall. I mean, those stats aren't final, but that's what I was using when I was playing with him. He has Hall of Fame physical finisher because none of these players have legend badges like I said earlier in the video. And once again, we are on Hall of Fame difficulty just like I have been the whole video. We are going to start with the dunk meter. This is what the dunk meter looks like. I put on the funnel meter like I said. I changed it in the customized HUD settings. I have the large meter setting on. Now with the dunk meter this year, you have to hold the right trigger and just hold the right stick down. Same with the standing dunk meter. So it's a little different. First play, it was right over OV topping. I had a green window. You could visually see the green window. I'm just not used to it. I could have timed that, could have easily greened that right here, right over him. Yeah. I mean, who was that, Andrew Nemhard? But once again, a lot of these...
I did like the video. I liked it.
These dunks are going to be greenable. And that's what I like about that. At least give me a chance to green the dunk. A lot of these are small meters, but there is some kind of green window. We are in Hall of Fame difficulty. And unlike 2K and 2K25, and by the way, right there, I tried to go for a dunk meter and it put me into a layup, which I really like about the dunk meter. If you don't get a dunk, you can just time the layup, which is awesome. Instead of previous years where no matter what, your player just goes over the dunk and you get a very early. That's a wide open dunk right there. You guys know in 2K24, if you just, in Pro-Am, a lot of guards, what they would do is just have the guard go to the paint and then you would get a no meter. It's not like that in 26. You're going to have a green window. You can't bait it into just being a no meter. Right there, we had a super small meter right over somebody, but there was a green window. And right there, I pushed him over for a standing dunk meter. Ja Morant right on Jaylen Brown's head top. It was a small meter, but hey, that is super satisfying. I'm excited to use a high driving dunk in 2K26. Yes, Hall of Fame difficulty. And right here, we get a wide open driving dunk. And that's what I like about the dunk meter this year is in past years, you would just get it very early, no matter what. Now you actually get the late or early. Someone.
Shit, what I'm seeing, you ain't got no interior defense. You're cooked.
In triple threat, shout out to everybody that shared their gameplay with me. Got this contact dunk right here. And overall, the dunk meter definitely improved. Slow down Euros. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited for this, but this is kind of trash. At least in 5s against the AI. It just seemed like there wasn't really a reason to do a slowdown in the middle of your Euro. Basically, you hold LT and then your player like slows down in the middle of it. It was also kind of weird to time because the meter slows down with it too. So that was kind of weird because I'm not used to that. There's never been something like that, but there just never seemed like there was a time to do it. I guess maybe when someone's in front of you on a court with less people, but for 5s, it didn't seem that good. But look at, shout out to my boy Kang Dooms for this gameplay.
Wow.
He greens a 100% slowdown Euro in my team's triple threat somehow. Self alleys, don't be like me on your first self alley-oop thinking it is the same controls and do a flashy pass, because now A and X on Xbox is a flash.
Bradley with the $100 donation. says I'm back. Well, welcome back, Bradley. It's nice to see you again. Holy crap. W's in the chat, guys.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Oh my god. I'm gonna heart that. Wow.
Slide.
That is insane. Can I? Let's see.
Pass and XY is the self alley-oop. We were playing on PlayStation Community Day, and I was so confused with the icons because they're not color coordinated like Xbox, and I'm not used to where these icons are at. But yeah, every time you throw an alley-oop or a self alley, a random button between A, X, and Y and B, or whatever the PlayStation ones are, pops up, and you have to time it. Honestly, a lot of people are freaking out about this. It is not hard, people. It is pretty damn easy, but you still have to time it.
Yeah, see, that's what I said, guys. I don't think that's a big deal. You're already, when you throw the lob, waiting for it to fill out. Now you just have to find the button. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, niggas ain't just left.
But yeah, bro did pay for my first 2K26 build.
I hope not.
That's pretty nice.
As well. Layup meters. Now, you can take your meter off and get a green bonus. I honestly like the meter on, especially with my meter settings. But yeah, you could still get pretty decently sized green windows on some tough layups. I mean, a 42% spin layup right there. A lot of times when I was getting the rebound, I was just going back up. I like the green window sizes. I like being able to visually see it. On right there, I basically full barred it, but it was 100% smothered. So at the end, it just went down. I don't know if that's just because I'm on Hall of Fame. But even on this 88% contested layup with Giannis, there is some kind of green window there. Right there, I basically full barred it, went back down in the last second on the 89%. I don't know why. It's got to be Hall of Fame difficulty, right? Right here, I completely full barred the heck out of that. It was only a 19%. I'm guessing it was because Andrew Nemhard was on me. Little hop step lay right there with Giannis. Going to the paint with Giannis again. Crazy contested. I full barred it, but it was a foul, so I don't know if that was going to end up going in. Ja Morant right here on this layup. Hop step into the lane. Full bar it. 61% layup right there.
Cool.
By the way, all of this is on Hall of Fame once again, so imagine on a lower difficulty. Zion, I kind of full bar that one, but it says early 14%, so must have shrunk at the very last second. Anthony Edwards, little scoop lay right there. That ended up being open somehow. And you're going to see a baseline right here with Anthony Edwards where I finally am not running out of bounds when I'm doing a reverse layup, unlike in 2K25. The standing dunk meter. It works just like the driving dunk meter where you just hold the right trigger, right stick down. Right here, I wasn't even expecting it because I'm so used to just going down the right stick. And then look at Kristaps, I barely don't green that. Like, that was really, really close. Almost
as long as there's nothing exploitive like the Kobe jab step, the standing dunk meter should be fine.
Full bar right here, I pre-fire the standing dunk with Evan Mobley on the pick and roll, which I like. You just hold the right stick before you can catch the ball, get the standing dunk meter. Right here, just like the Kristaps one, it's not a complete full bar, but I'm like barely below that green window to the point where I'm basically on top of it. Floaters. Now, the first thing I did was test Devin Booker floater because it was really good in 2K24. So Devin Booker cross into the floater, 6% on the first one. I'm like, okay. The reason why it wasn't good in 2K25 is because randomly you would get this other floater that's in his floater package. But when I was playing Play Now here, every time I went to his opposite ball hand, just like 24, the case it was.
All right, hold on. All right. Okay. We gon' let's watch this one first. Let's go down the road.
We're not gonna waste any time. We're jumping straight into it. Y'all asked for raw, unedited NBA 2K26 gameplay, and I got exactly that here for y'all. I'm actually still in the hotel room. I was just at Community Day for 12 hours in the builder and getting some gameplay for y'all. And as soon as I got back to the hotel room, we're already editing and getting on the mic to talk to y'all about it. So drop a like on the video for me. I really appreciate it. Let's try to get this video to 10,000 likes. And let's talk about it. All right. I'm in the white. I'm in the white jerseys. My team's white. Swag's in the black jersey. Swag is my pro-am team, and I play park with him for the last, I don't even know, 5-6 years. Me and Swag go way back. So we decided to match up in the My Team triple threat. So it's 3-on-3. We pulled up some My Team cards. Luckily, I was lucky enough to pull LeBron James. So we got some LBJ gameplay here for you for my first time on 2K26. And listen, A few things to notice about this gameplay. We were not able to customize our HUD, so we weren't able to turn off our shot meters. We were not able to change our shot feedback. We were not able to customize any of that stuff, okay? So that's going to kind of hinder the gameplay a little bit. And also, it's literally our first couple minutes playing NBA 2K26, so there's going to be some rough moments, but y'all wanted it unedited, and I understand why, because y'all want to see the game speed. Y'all want to see how it flows. Y'all want to see this, that, and the third, so completely understand, all right? Now, I also want to mention, these are, the My Team cards for these NBA and WNBA players. So they have their own animations, and as y'all know, they're not optimized animations. Like, when we make our My players, we find, the best escape, to go with the best crossover, to go with the best behind the back, with the best hezzy, and it all comes together, and it's able to move a lot more efficiently and quicker and just better than the NBA and WNBA players because you got optimized SIGs. So my point is, some of the bursts that you're going to see in these gameplays, it might look clunky sometimes, but you have to realize a lot of these players don't have great SIGs attached to their My Team cards and whatnot. Like when you'll see the gameplay tomorrow and you see the builder and people being able to test their builds, and when we tested the builds we could customize the SIGs, you're going to see it's a night and day difference in terms of how people can kind of burst and speed boost and change directions and start to chain glitchy stuff together. And then of course when the full game drops and like the whole community's out there labbing, it really looks like we're going to find some glitchy stuff, because the bigger players, like obviously last year the small players could burst. The big players on this game can definitely move. You move a lot better than 2K25. That's for damn sure. Step back with Braun pulling up. Y'all already know how we're coming with Braun on 2K26. All right, so make sure y'all tuned in tomorrow.
Are we not peeping Braun's step back? God damn. That shit was fast.
Braun build is dropping, and I'm excited for that one. But we're hot. Damn, we're up 11-2. Swag, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm trying to blitz the ball hand, because I know Mike was talking about, how they nerfed the plucks and blitz steals will be rewarded. So I'm really trying to blitz the ball hand and go for him. But I'm getting called for a foul here and there. You do see, though, I don't know if you can tell in this, in my gameplay breakdown video that I posted earlier, I kind of talked about this. When someone stands still dribbling, you can't just like push up against them and just knock. Swag's giving me too much space. Braun's knocking it down yet again. 14-2. It's an absolute flood. But what I was talking about was when someone stands still dribbling, you can't just bump them out of like their combo. But as soon as they start moving and like trying to drive or trying to run to the side, then all of a sudden the body up like perimeter defense, you see like right there, that's Caitlin Clark like pretty much stonewalling LeBron James, which I know sounds crazy, but let's let's ignore the physics behind it in terms of the WNBA versus NBA players. I know people are probably gonna freak out about that, but they already talked about how it's literally just when it comes to My Team, it's just attributes and badges and whatnot. But that's not the point of what I'm saying. The point of what I'm saying is when you're on the move, the defender gets much better bumps. When you're standing and you're trying to go, tween, cross, you're doing like a size up or something. On 25, you could like run up to the guy and just bump him out of that dribble combo. It didn't seem to be the case on 26. When they're on the move and you cut them off, you do get a body up. But when they're standstill dribbling, which I guess is like real life, if someone's dribbling at the top of the key and you're a defender, you can't just run into them and just knock them backwards and knock them out of their dribble sequence, right? That would be called a foul. So I guess in that sense it makes sense. But I'm just reporting what I felt playing the game. You know what I mean? I felt like when I was standstill dribbling, I could combo all I wanted. And then as soon as I got on the move, if they got on my hip or they cut me off to the basket, there would be some type of physical collision animation, and that was something that I noticed that was different in terms of the body ups and the dribbling. But first game on 2K26, 21-7. Braun went crazy, 8 for 8, 2 for 2 from 3, so definitely happy about that. But now we're going to head over to the 2v2 courts. Me and Swag are going to team up. So let's get into the 2v2 gameplay. And this is all users. This is me and Swag versus 2 users. I'm not really sure who it is. It's just, letters and numbers as gamer tags, so I'm not really sure. But all 4 people on the court being controlled by users. So as you can expect, we've been playing the game for 20 minutes at this point. It is going to be a sloppy gameplay. But at least y'all will get to see some raw, unedited gameplay. And like I said, we couldn't customize our player HUD, couldn't turn off the shot meters. There's a lot of stuff that kind of made it even more challenging. But you get to see kind of a little bit more user-on-user action, because although last game it was me and Swag playing, there were still 4 AIs on the court. You know, it was more team control mode as opposed to single, you know, everyone controlling an individual single player on the court. So this is a nice little change of pace. Now, I am curious, what are your thoughts already after watching me and Swag play that 3v3 there? Is there anything you saw that you liked, that you didn't like, that concerns you? You know, just what are your thoughts? Comment it down below. I will be reading the comments to kind of see where your guys' head is at, and then maybe even answer some of your guys' questions down there if I have time in between editing all these videos that I'm trying to get out for you guys in a timely fashion. As I said, I'm still, like I said, I'm in the hotel room. We're on the grind. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know how I get this time of year. I do everything I can for y'all boys, and y'all always, you know, y'all always show love back. So, you know, the feeling is mutual. I appreciate y'all, and clearly, I mean, the way you guys support the videos, you guys appreciate it as well. So I love that. But let's keep it going. Wemby with the block. Now, we've already seen Wemby has the 99 block, so you would hope, right? You would hope he'd be able to get his hand on the ball here or there, and that was a nice inside block. Now, we're going to a little pick and roll here. I go up. You see, I try to go up for the dunk meter. He takes me out of the dunk meter, but it still converts to a layup, and usually it is a makeable layup. It's not like a sliver of a green window. Like, that was a pretty decent size green window on the layup. And of course, you can see the green window. We already knew this, but you can see the green window again on the dunks and the layups. So that is a beautiful thing. And thank goodness for that, you know, revision, going back to the way it used to be. But check this out. Again, it's the shot meter just messes with me, bro. I try to pull up. I'm shooting a bounce back half bar. Iverson is pulling up in the corner. He's knocking it down. Me and Swag are down 7-4. It ain't looking too good. But I'm about to turn up and take this thing over with LeBron. Now, you're about to see here in just a second. AI pulls up and he misses, and then Swag's going to hit me on the kick out. I'm going to drive in and going for a meter dunk here. And it's a good-sized green window. And, I mean, Jokic is in the paint, but it's not like a... You know, it's not like he's really, like, putting me into contact dunk animation or anything like that, but it just feels like a good time to kind of talk about my thoughts on the driving dunks and finishing in general from what I saw. I did talk about it in my gameplay breakdown. If y'all didn't watch that earlier, I definitely recommend y'all check that out. But finishing on this game, one thing I noticed is size really matters. And I think this was true in 2K25 as well, but you couldn't really, you know, you didn't have the visible green window to back it up. But we know on the perimeter, right? If you're a tall player, it's a lot harder for them to contest you. You know, you're shooting over those and you know, blah, blah, blah. Y'all get what I'm saying in terms of the perimeter. But in the paint, I feel like the same thing is true. In the gameplay breakdown I did a lot of testing with, like, Ja and Ant, you know, smaller dunkers. And then I also had Giannis, who's, you know, 6'11", a much bigger player. And it just felt like Giannis was getting more consistent good-sized green windows. Now, there was times where his, you know, shrunk and whatnot, but it really felt like finishing also not just depended on your attributes and badges, but the size of your player. And I feel like to an extent, it makes sense, right? Like, Ja Morant coming full head of steam, it's scary, but Giannis coming full head of steam is frightening. Like, that's a really difficult thing to stop. And although they're both great dunkers, great finishers, the size does matter. So I think it's not a crazy concept to have in the game, but it was definitely, in terms of what I tested in the few hours I got to play, it definitely felt noticeable that the bigger players could, you know, just kind of get a little more leeway in what they could and couldn't go up with in terms of not just the dunks, but the layups as well. The layups got contested a lot less on the taller players. Like, I remember I was testing with, like, Trae Young and Luka, and stuff I went up with Trae that got contested. I feel like I went up with similar stuff with Luka, but because he's, you know, 6'7", 6'8", whatever he is, it was registering open. So I feel like not just in terms of jump shooting, but also in the finishing department, the size and the height on this game definitely plays a factor. And like I said, I feel like that's how it was last year, but just couldn't really back it up with any visual proof because we didn't have the visible green windows. But check this out. We've seen a couple lobs now, and as y'all can see, not only you got to time them, but you got to select one of the 4 face buttons on the controller. And I ain't gonna lie, especially early on, it's gonna be an adjustment. Like, I missed my first one, and, you know, I'm somebody that probably catches more lobs than the usual 2K player just because I'm always, you know, I prefer to play on those dunking type of builds, and, you know, I have fun with the lobs and the contact dunks and stuff like that. But it's definitely going to be a little adjusting to having to click different buttons. I feel like just you have like a habit, like, built into your psyche that you're just gonna automatically press the shoot button, and it ain't like that. You gotta lock in and actually click the right button. So that's gonna be a little adjustment. I think people will get used to it, but it also, I feel like, could deter people from throwing lobs in general, just because now it's like, man, there's even more chance your teammate messes it up, especially like in the random wreck or something like that. Like, we're gonna see a lot of funny moments with those alley-oops in a random wreck. I already see it, but check it out. Even though LeBron is big and he's got decent finishing ratings and badges and all that, still get a basically no chance of greening that meter dunk right there. So it certainly isn't anything OP. And if you watched the gameplay breakdown, there's actually some stuff I'm pretty concerned about that I addressed in there, and I did bring it to their attention. I think other people did as well. So hopefully they're able to sort it out by launch. But there was some stuff with the dunking that logically really didn't make sense. But again, it is the community day version of the game. It's not the final product that we're going to play at launch. So hopefully they're able to fix those small things that we noticed in terms of the dunk meter being like just randomly inconsistent for no reason. If you want to actually see that, like I said, the gameplay breakdown is the place to go check it out, and that video is going to pop up on the screen here in just a second after we finish this thing off. Wemby's ripping down the rebound. He's going to hit me, and if you wanted to see a two-hand tomahawk contact dunk to finish it off, there you go, man. Click that video on the screen right there. Like I said, that is the gameplay breakdown. Everything you need to know about NBA 2K26 gameplay is in that video. Go check it out. What's that?
What's up? Listen, I am going on tour and I am bringing some of the biggest comedy and music guests in the game. So if you're in any of these cities below, make sure you go get your tickets right now. Yes, it will be special guests each night in every arena. Go get those tickets right now. Do not miss out on this opportunity.
Take that bus away. I'm the man of the house. The moment people quit listening to him, he sends they ass the home.
The two of y'all have to get on the bus and go home.
Okay, y'all.
Let's do it.
Oh my! On this week of Could Have Been House.
This episode of Could Have Been House is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
You don't go to Sway's Freestyle and bring a book.
Judge you on the rap, we ain't judging on the black eye.
Get it out the mud.
Said these don't know how to step on with the blade. I'm on promise.
Have you ever talked to this many white people?
Maybe when I was in court or something.
We thought we'd throw a little surprise party tonight.
Surprise mother party. I didn't write the mother, I just read the book.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gone.
If your girl that you really like told me, hey, give me $2,000 to me in the bathroom real quick.
I'd give her $2,000 to stay by me.
You better watch that. She gonna get trick money and your money. Everybody's out to get you now.
Get up, get up!
90% ownership, add another 10. Sitting around talking about what you coulda did. Come and sign a drewski. Gonna be coulda been. Gonna be coulda been. Gonna be coulda been. And we accept Christians and niggas out the pen. Gonna be coulda been. Gonna be coulda been. You might get a Bentley. You might get a Benz.
Bro, whatever you did, bro, on my mama phone, you cheat. I didn't even punch you on her.
Yeah. I heard you started that war.
Oh, I started it.
I heard you went in there wanting to go.
So I'm out of PC, guys. I'm proud to get out of here. Should go after people.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I gotta be here if I want you. Be here if I want you. Just pop this shit. I'm like, yo. Oh.
See, she didn't say all of that.
I'm a Generation Z and got millennials pressed.
She's making shit up. I'm done entertaining her.
I'm a bonnet girl. Ain't no more way.
Gonna be coulda been. Gonna be coulda been. And we accept Christians and niggas out the pen. Gonna be coulda been. Gonna be coulda been. You might get a Bentley. You might get a Benz.